That means if I want to play racquetball for an hour, that would have been the same as walking 12 miles. I put it to the test. I hopped in my own car and drove towards the intersections on Prince Avenue with the orange flags. I asked someone to walk across the street holding a flag and then back across the street again without holding the flag. I did notice a flash of orange, but those who put the flags here say they want to know if seeing that orange flag actually makes drivers stop. And looking around here, you can see that a lot of technology goes into finding missing people in Athens. It can also be the reason why many teens go missing in Athens, because of technology like cell phones. But the Athens-Clarke County Police is using another weapon to solve that problem, Twitter. Meet the sergeant whose job it is to turn missing tweets into found tweets. Duncan says with booth sales going so well, answering the door to a Girl Scout may be a thing of the past. This happy family is the Oliver family, and that cute little smile, that's their son, Trip. Now on the outside, it's all smiles, but on the inside, a story of pain that leaves these parents with only one option. UGA police just sent out the media release that says a man burglarized the UGA bookstore and the Tate Student Center, and you'll see his picture up on the screen. They need your help in finding this man. The suspect appears to be a white male between the ages of 18 and 23 with brown hair, approximately 5'8" to 5'10", and 160 to 180 pounds. And that's ice that can bring down power lines. And you see that tree over there? With enough ice on it, all of those limbs are going to snap. That makes it much more dangerous than snow. But the road department says they are going to try to make the roads, and they're prepared to make the roads as safe as possible. What these new trucks will do is there won't be anybody bringing your garbage back to the curb anymore. Instead, there'll be an arm on the side of the truck, brings it up and puts your trash can right back where it was, and the department says that will save time and energy.
Education is their #1 priority, but it's clear after talking to both, Deal and Carter have different priorities there. Deal's top priority? Teachers. He says he wants to make sure they're prepared to teach Georgia children how to read, especially in the birth to 8 years old range. He says that means intense professional development for teachers. And Carter's top priority? Money. He wants a separate education budget, and he wants it passed before the regular budget. A dance!
That smile will make your heart melt, but this will make your heart hurt. Trip has seizures all night, like this one when he was just 1 year old, and it lasted 45 minutes.
You can't tell really how sick that he is.
Trip has Dravet syndrome. That means he has seizures all night, and his mother says there's no telling how many he actually has.
Trip, give me 5.
But Trip is like any other boy. He likes to play trains, listen to his favorite rock band,
Sing it.
and do the chicken dance. But Oliver says he can't do all the things he wants to, and it hasn't been easy.
You know, it's been a really long road.
And it's about to get 1,400 miles longer. Oliver says she has run out of options to help Trip. Her family now has to move from their home in Commerce, Georgia to Colorado Springs to get treatment for his chronic seizures.
If we can make the seizures less, try to get him off of the drugs that he's on, then he also has a better chance developmentally of having the most productive life that he can have.
Oliver says she thought she saw light at the end of the tunnel with House Bill 885, which would allow cannabis oil to be used for medical purposes in Georgia. But that hope suddenly faded when the bill didn't pass.
It was a really bad day. It was a huge letdown.
His parents are hoping that cannabis oil will be the lucky 16th drug and the missing puzzle piece to finally get relief for their son.
Go crazy. Go crazy.
Here we go again. Another storm, another job. But this winter weather is no problem for Robert Blocker.
Yeah, we're ready.
The we is the Athens-Clarke County Streets and Drainage Department, and they're ready with an army of 8 machines. With another storm on the way, the team is training their soldiers for battle today. The 2 soldiers on the front lines meet Grady.
It can clear roads of trees.
And Duwall.
This is a spreader, a sand spreader that we put on here.
Ignitions are checked. Test runs are done. Now it's time to show you the weapon.
I'm standing in the big pile of sand that they use when we have icy and snowy conditions. Right here, this is about 200,000 pounds of sand, and they will use all of this and more if they need it.
A victorious army needs 2 things to battle the elements: planning and experience.
With that experience, I think being on call all the time, and their supervisors training their men, they've gotten the experience to take care of situations like this.
And even if Mother Nature shows her worst side this week, Blocker is ready.
I'm here if they need me, so all I have to do is call.
Oh, I hope they don't get hit.
Press, wait, go. Until this year, these flashing lights were your safest ticket across Prince Avenue. But if these aren't flashy enough for you, maybe these are. In January, these orange flags were placed at 2 intersections on Prince Avenue, a street pedestrians say is sometimes hard to cross.
And it's like they're almost challenging you.
I don't feel as safe as I should.
But traffic engineer Steve Decker doesn't think people have much to worry about.
We're very fortunate in Athens to have a very, very low crash rate.
Watching from nearby windows, you'll see people are finding their own techniques to using the flags, like the hold and walk, the twirl or wave,
Look to the left, look to the right.
and the non-user.
And then you have drivers that are like, what's this person waving a flag for? Not really getting it.
Athenians are just now finding their inner flag twirler, but this program is nothing new to cities all over the country. The Athens-Clarke County Traffic Department thought Athens would be a good place to try it next.
So I put it to the test. I hopped to my own car and drove towards the intersections on Prince Avenue with the orange flags. I asked someone to walk across the street holding a flag and then back across the street again without holding the flag. I did notice a flash of orange, but those who put the flags here say they want to know if seeing that orange flag actually makes drivers stop.
If we keep someone from getting hit by a vehicle, it's an expense worth it.
Decker wants to do his own testing every month to see if the flags are being used.
A car weighs 3,000, 4,000 pounds. Unless you can match that weight, you're going to lose.
Decker also mentions another type of loss. He says he's already lost 25 flags, but he says he's willing to lose 100 flags as long as no one loses a life. In the newsroom, Alexa Knowles, Grady Newsource.
Clarke County 911.
They get 175,000 calls a year.
We've got ambulance and officers on the way.
Several times a week, these communications officers answer to a report of a missing person, most of them teenagers. And when that happens, Sergeant Brad Collinsworth has work to do. Find out where they went and why.
They want to do their own thing. It's usually my mom took my cell phone away from me, so I'll show her.
Sergeant Collinsworth deals with teenagers all day. He has a 13-year-old daughter, and he says every missing child hits close to home.
I don't want her to be exposed to things that I'm exposed to every day.
That's because every day Sergeant Collinsworth is faced with this reality. The Athens-Clarke County Twitter page is full of tweets like this: missing, runaway, posts that appear on Twitter because of an alert system called Nixle. In 2 months, 25 people went missing, and 21 were found not long after the reports. Keith Kelly is a director of where those reports come in, and he says Twitter and Facebook are not checked 24/7.
We would rather people call 911, speak with us, than respond via Twitter and Facebook.
Kelly and Collinsworth both say if you need to report information about a missing person, call 911.
You're messing up.
But Collinsworth says there is something else you can do without the police.
You need to know what they're doing, who they're doing it with. You've got to be involved in your children's life.
And Sergeant Collinsworth is taking his own advice. He says he's become close with a couple kids he's met along the way and won't even call them before he ran away, which is better than any one of these officers getting a call here. And that just shows that technology helps, but relationships are what bring people home. Live in the Athens 911 Communication Center, Alexa Knowles, Grady Newsource.